Hello everyone. In the last session, we discussed about AMDBs, how to use AMDBs, and what are the advantages of using AMDBs, and table functions in AMDBs, and different features related to AMDBs we have seen in the last session. In this session, we will be discussing Unit 11, SAP HANA Proxy Objects. This is the last unit of this course. SAP HANA Proxy Objects. So what are SAP HANA Proxy Objects? So here in this unit, we will be dealing with bottom-up approach, which is possible less than 7.4, above 7.4. That is SAP HANA as a primary database. So if users who are using still SAP 7.4 and below, like 7.3 and below, and who has HANA as a primary database, then how to consume HANA specific views and HANA stored procedures in a BAP. So these things we will be discussing here in SAP HANA Proxy Objects unit. So first we discuss about bottom-up approach. Again, recap of code to data paradigm possible with code to data paradigm bottom-up approach. How you create an external view in a BAP dictionary to consume SAP HANA views, and how to and what are the mappings of SAP HANA data types and ABAP dictionary types when you consume HANA views in external views, how the data mapping happens in the data types of HANA data types and dictionary types, and how you adjust your data type mappings, and how you select from external view within OpenSQL. So if you wanted to, once you consume your HANA view in external view, how you consume it in OpenSQL, we will be showing in a select query. So coming to bottom-up approach with ABAP less than 7.40. So here the code to data paradigm top-down approach we have seen using extended as OpenSQL like CDS views, ABAP manager database procedures. Those are fully available starting above ABAP 7.4. So when working with the currently lower release, suppose we have less than 7.4, then bottom-up approach is used. SAP HANA artifacts natively how you consume in ABAP. So expose how you expose your HANA specific views, HANA specific views, HANA views in ABAP is the main feature. Even you can expose not only HANA views, you can expose database procedures as well in ABAP dictionary. So these things, how to create a external view, how to create a database procedure proxy, you, I will be showing you in the system. But currently I have a system which is ABAP system 7.4, but I don't have HANA as a primary database. I have MySQL as a primary database. But these external views and as a database procedure proxies, this is possible only in ADT, which has ABAP system has primary in HANA system as a primary database. So in a new repository object called external view is available in ABAP dictionary. So here, to explain about bottom-up approach, ABAP and HANA servers involved for developing, managing, and calling HANA views in ABAP. So HANA view deployed in HANA Studio, so which we have seen in HANA specific views like attribute analytical calculation views. How to consume this in ABAP? So you will consume this HANA view. You select your attribute view in a. So there is a dictionary called data dictionary called external view, which can be created from ADT ABAP development tools. In this ADT, you can select which view to be exposed in ABAP. So HANA transport container and HANA delivery unit is required for transporting your HANA view to ABAP. So to transport your HANA view to ABAP, you need HANA transport container and HANA delivery unit. Delivery unit, which we have discussed in unit 2 and unit 2 as well. So we will assign a package to delivery unit, and you will move it from one system to other system. So external views. What are external views? They're easy to consume in ABAP code using OpenSQL. So there will be separate lifecycle management and transport of a proxy and procedure required. So proxies for SAP HANA views. So there will be new data dictionary called external view in ABAP dictionary. So external views are created in ABAP system using SAP HANA as a primary database and represents HANA view on the ABAP side. So this is what external view is. See, in other words, what we can see is external view is a proxy in the ABAP dictionary for a HANA view. So what we can say was external view is a proxy for HANA view. So existence of these proxies makes the view and its fields list visible to ABAP stack. So it allows accessing SAP HANA view via OpenSQL and performing a syntax check actually. Um, External views creating I will be showing you in ADT. So I'll just go, suppose if I have this this suppose ATPD derived. So suppose if you say this is my attribute view, so I want to expose this AT attribute view, suppose in ABAP. So what I should do was, firstly, the ABAP system which you are accessing should be primary database should be HANA. Suppose for EC7, suppose now if I go to system and status, so here if you see the system and status here, my system is not a primary database as HANA. This is MySQL. So I cannot create external view, but I will show you where you can create external view. So I'll show you, this is editing. So I'll click on new. So other ABAP depository object. So I have to create external view. So I'll see, if you see here external view. So I'll go to dictionary. So dictionary, in dictionary you can see there is a tab called dictionary view. So the dictionary view, so there is a option called dictionary view. So in ADT not supported by ABAP Workbench, so you will right click on the dictionary. There is a new dictionary called dictionary view, so you will click on next. So if you see the project name dictionary view, suppose you give it as since you are exposing some view, suppose external view, suppose external, so HANA specific view, that is attribute view you are exposing. So I'm just giving table name, so 20 characters laws. So I'll give HANA attribute expose, AT expose I'll give. So here if you see dictionary view, we can select external view as well here. So now if we able to see, when I am trying to select this external view, it is not enabling for me. Only dictionary view is enabling for me. So say there is a data source called dictionary view, and you would be selecting here external view. And if you see here HANA view, and I will be able to browse this and select any of my any of the attribute view. So if my ABAP system is uh, uh, HANA primary database is HANA. If it is a secondary database, then I will be not able to select this external view. Suppose if I give it as username and password, if I go to system, if I go the status here, if you see the database system is MySQL. If you have a ABAP system which has database system is HANA, then only you will be able to access external view from ADT. So if you have primary database is HANA, then this external view will be enabled, and you will be able to specify, you will be able to browse and select any HANA view and click on finish. So that you will be able to create external view, and you can be access that external view using OpenSQL syntax like select star from your external view into table. So this is how you access your external view if you have HANA as a primary database. Since HANA, since my database was MySQL, I'm not able to select, since it is not connected to HANA directly, I'm not able to select here external view. So if you have any system if you have any system which has ABAP, HANA as a primary database, then ABAP system connected to a primary database, then you will be able to create a dictionary view. So, and then select a external view. So suppose new, so it will be dictionary view. So when you collect a dictionary view, you have to select a external view. This is how you create a external view. So this external view, I already told you, can be created in ABAP system, can be created in ABAP system using HANA as a primary database, and represents HANA view on the ABAP side. So it represents HANA view on ABAP side. So on ABAP side. In other words, an external view is suppose an external view is a proxy of HANA view. Proxy of for a HANA view in the ABAP dictionary. In the ABAP dictionary. So So you can, when you create this, you can use it in OpenSQL as well. External view have many things in common with normal database view created in a web dictionary, but both can be used as a data types in a web program and it from class in OpenSQL setup. So like a normal select query, select star from when you use suppose SFlight is your database table, you will use select star from SFlight into table. The same way, if you have any external view name, suppose uh, um, app underscore HANA, and then I'm giving name as here. Suppose this is my external view, suppose. So I can use this external view as select star from jet external view into table. So database we completely while defining database we define corresponding objects on the database table, like in external view are just proxies of HANA view. You won't define anything. They represent, for example, they don't contain any information, just they will select from the underlying HANA view. That's all. External view selects from the underlying HANA view. So that is how it works. Database view on actually external view is a what we can say was it's a database view on definition of dictionary object called HANA view. It's a, like a wrapper for your HANA view which can be exposed in your ABAP layer. So it's a wrapper to HANA view. External view is a wrapper to HANA view which can be which can be consumed in ABAP. Yeah. So next step, as a next step, actually when you create and click on next, suppose. So I'm as of now I'm creating this is a dictionary view only, so but dictionary is a normal view. So when you create an external view, so what you need to do with the next steps was you will have to do a mapping between HANA and a web type. So generally, when you define a view in our HANA, suppose if you have any HANA, if you take any, suppose this is my HANA view. So if you take any field, suppose, so this field is of type, you say name this one. So data type is NVCar for type code. So for type code, if you see data type was NVCar. So when you define your fields in your attribute view, all the data types for your fields will be small, int, integer, decimal, are these types you will be defining. So when you exposing them into ABAP dictionary, all the HANA specific data types will be mapped to ABAP dictionary types. So if you define, suppose here, suppose I have suppose product here. This product ID I defined it as NVCar. So on type ID I defined as NVCar. So if you see category, if you see varchar, so NVCar, varchar. So if you see NVCar will be converted into char and numc. Varchar will be converted into char and numc. So like that, if you define any glob, like we have attachments like blob, it will convert it into raw string in a ABAP. So which data HANA type, which data type in HANA is converted to which data type in ABAP is shown here. So data mapping will happen here, like small int will be converted into int1 and int2, integer is connected to int4, so decimal will be converted into DEC, currency or quantity, small decimal will be connected into decimal, float will be connected into float, FLTP, and vchar will be connected into char, varchar will be connected into char. So it is HANA's data types will be mapped to ABAP data types. So after once mapping does, you will have to do mapping from HANA type used in HANA column to ABAP types used in ABAP representation. So this mapping was done, then you will be able to define your external view and you will be able to select it as well in the OpenSQL select. So my HANA view, suppose this is my HANA view, suppose JDXT underscore view underscore EXT is my HANA view, suppose. So when I'm creating, this is my external view, suppose. Then what I can do is select star from external view into LT result. This is a normal OpenSQL statement, but this is an external view. So LT result, I have to define my table and I access it. So this is how you access your HANA views in a web external views. Things to be keep in mind. You have to declare your variable and the internal ABAP types structured data type should be external view. And things which needs to be keep in mind was no data elements mapped to external view consumption. That means that data elements will not be mapped, only domains will be mapped. That means that only technical information, no labels, documentation, etc. for mapping. So avoid using external views as data types for fields and user interface. So if you are using any user interface, there won't be any data element. So that means that there is won't be any technical documentation, field definition. So you cannot use your external view in the user interface. So if you are consuming it in the front end, you cannot use external view only because it doesn't have any data elements. So separate lifecycle management for external view and HANA view. That means that um, syntax check only ensures existence of when you do any syntax check, it checks whether external view present or not. So runtime error, it gets runtime error if SAP HANA browser does not exist, or if any HANA view does not exist, external view, or if database is not SAP HANA, then it will do syntax check. That's all. If database should be primary database should be SAP HANA. So select start from external view only if one system with HANA database. Only you can select if it is a HANA database. So, and again, SAP HANA Studio will not tell you which ABAP external view are derived from a particular HANA view. So, this ABAP perspective which not tell you which you cannot, when you do a result list, you cannot get which ABAP external view used this HANA view. This type of traceability issues you cannot get it. So, um, so you have to make sure that SAP HANA column view is available at runtime. So although ABAP and HANA have separate transport policies, so you have to make available external view, every HANA view and external view available. Also make sure that HANA view interfaces matches ABAP external view structures. That means that should match externally. So HANA database should be a primary database. So you cannot use a very used mechanism in SAP HANA Studio to determine which ABAP external view has been created for the view. So you cannot do very used list. So this is how you access your, you will create an external view for SAP HANA view and like a wrapper and use it in an OpenSQL select. So external views are mainly used to consume your HANA views in a app like a wrapper. So this is how we'll so up to now we have seen how to create bottom-up approach. We have seen how to create external view in a web dictionary. We have seen like mapping and how to adjust mapping and how to select external view in OpenSQL. Now we will see how the transport of SAP HANA objects happen. So what happens in HANA transport container? So, so here we will discuss about what is delivery unit, which we have already discussed in unit 2, means a delivery unit and how to create a delivery unit in packages and explain the use of what is the use of HANA transport container and how to create a transport container and assign a delivery unit. So the steps will be first you will create a package. So in your HANA specific, if you go to HANA specific, the first step will be you will be creating a package. So once you create a package, like this package, you will be creating a package. So we'll assign HANA artifacts to the package. We'll assign HANA artifacts to the package. You will assign package to the delivery unit, and you will assign delivery unit to the HANA transport container. And such a way, HANA transport container will move from one system to other system. So HANA transport container is used for transporting purpose. So so creating a HANA, I already told you, first creating a transport container, assigning a delivery unit to transport container, assigning a package to delivery unit. After that, you will take a snapshot. When you create a HANA transport container, you will take snapshot of what HANA objects needs to be gone to delivery unit, and then you will release the transport request so that snapshot is exported and imported. If you want to import the snapshot, you can import to the HANA system. You can want to export the snapshot, you can export. So there will be no delta transport, no versions will be created, no automatic update happens here. So there will be no automatic objects, no automatic updates happen actually. So so consuming HANA views or database processes in ABAP creates dependency between both ABAP code and HANA artifacts. So when you consume your, so suppose if you see when you consume your stored procedure in ABAP or when you consume your database procedure in ABAP. So ABAP system and HANA system acts as a sole master. So both servers has the dependencies. So this holds true that when you consuming the artifacts using native SQL and it is made more possible that when we're working in the external views. So on a transport container, so transporting the dependent of ABAP code such that it can be imported into target system successfully. Actually, it requires the HANA content to be transported. So suppose when you create an external view, so if you don't have your HANA view in your ABAP system, so then you will not able to expose that. So there is a dependency between HANA system and ABAP system. And even in the ABAP when you create a database procedure and you expose them as a stored procedure, a stored procedure proxy, which we will be seeing in the next few minutes. So here stored procedure is your when you create your stored procedure, your proxy, you need to have stored procedure available in a web. That means that your web system, when you create your external view or stored procedure proxy, it is totally dependent upon your HANA objects. So to make sure that everything available in the web, so all your artifacts, HANA artifacts available in the web, then you have to create a transport HANA transport container and use that using ADT. So how you create was, so we'll go to HANA Studio. So suppose you have any package, suppose. So we'll go to HANA any for ADT. In the context menu of a web project, you select new, and then you click on new, and then you can click on ABAP, other ABAP repository object. So you can go to HANA transport container. So and click on next. So when you click on next, it will ask for the delivery unit, HANA delivery unit, which it will ask for the HANA delivery unit. So you have to give your delivery unit as well. So HANA delivery unit name, suppose we have different delivery units. Suppose if I open any delivery unit from here, suppose. So what I will be doing was I'll just check DU, suppose delivery unit, and click on S. So it will fetch some delivery units, or I'll click, so control C. So if you see day from test tables, these are days. So if you wanted to have a delivery unit, so suppose I'll just go to modular. You can import as well. So delivery unit. So you can see on a system you can create a delivery unit. So I'm clicking on next. So if you see some of the delivery units which I have created, suppose I have Jet HANA DL. So this is a delivery unit which I have created, suppose. So I'll try to Jet HANA underscore DL. So this is my delivery unit. Must be entered with the format vendor. So I need to, there's a format to create a delivery unit. So in this will, in that format will be giving in the delivery unit. So in suppose, um, so suppose, so if I am giving name of the delivery unit and vendor, suppose, so format Jet, suppose Jet HANA underscore DL. So this is how you will create your delivery unit. So delivery must in the format. So this is how you will create a delivery unit and click on next. So as soon as in a new transport container, actually we will filter to quickly, suppose you have to assign a delivery unit. So delivery unit has package, and the which package has all the HANA artifacts. So next step would be, now I cannot access this delivery unit even if I use, suppose suppose if I try to give Jet caps Jet HANA, I think it's DL. I'll go into system and check. So Jet HANA and DL is the delivery unit. Vendor was test. So vendor was test here. If you see, vendor was test. So I have to give in the same way. So vendor was test. So what I'll be doing was I'll just create test. Test. I'll just take these quotations. Delivery unit must be entered in the format name and vendor. Mostly we have created properly. So if you see here, this is my delivery unit name, and this is my test vendor name, and if you see who last updated everything we have. So we have already everything proper, but I'll just try to DL test. So correct. So vendor name means some vendors will have, suppose SAP AZ is a vendor. So these vendors, suppose. So we'll create. We have to give our vendor name. So I'll try to give with name. So click on next. It's not available here because I didn't transport all my artifacts. And again, this is not a HANA system directly. This is a BAP system. So it's connected to MySQL as a primary database. It's not connected to HANA as a database. That is why it is not showing you. So this is how you give your HANA delivery unit. So as soon as when you give your HANA delivery unit, we can take a snapshot of all HANA objects of delivery unit. So this delivery unit, suppose this delivery unit has, suppose this delivery unit has two packages. Suppose if I open this package, I will be having HANA artifacts. This package, if I open, I will be having HANA artifacts. So I can take snapshot from the ABAP system. So which objects needs to be added to delivery unit, and I can release the transport request snapshot. So as soon as when I take the snapshot, I can save the snapshot, and I can take I can take snapshots and save them, so that I can import them or I can export them. So if I wanted to import to some other ABAP system, I can export them and I can import them. So that is how we'll do a um, do first. We will move our artifacts from one system to other system. So first one was we will create transport. First step would be creating a HANA transport container from the dictionary. So there is one more artifact called how to create a transport container, which we have seen here. So you have to right click in your package and click on new other ABAP repository. You have to give HANA transport container and click on next. So and then you will be giving your delivery unit. So delivery unit, assign delivery unit to the transport container. You will assign package assign to the delivery unit and take the snapshot of delivery unit with HANA artifacts. You can export and import the snapshot. Things to be kept in mind was when you have a HANA transport container. So always transport of complete delivery unit is required, no delta, like off objects off when you well TRV HANA delivery units cannot be transported, no automatic updates possible. That means that changes to SAP HANA content do not update the content on transport container. Suppose if you once you transported, transport was complete, once you change your HANA content in that delivery unit, it won't be updated. You need to refresh the content of container manually, so you have to create your snapshots every time, but it won't be updated. So take snapshot immediately before the release of transport. So as soon as when you release the transport, you should take the snapshot. So this is how you move your contents from ABAP system to HANA and HANA system to ABAP as well. So individually target system, you need to specify which target system and which to transport your HANA transport container. So this is how you use your delivery units, and how do you create a delivery unit and assign a package. I already shown you. So we'll create a delivery unit. We can assign a package to a delivery unit, and how you what is the uses of HANA transport container and how you create a HANA transport container in and assign the delivery units. So first step would be you will create a package and assign some artifacts to package, and then you will create a delivery unit and add the packages to delivery unit, and then we will in ABAP system we will create a HANA transport container, and we will create a HANA transport container and assign the delivery units and take the snapshot, so that you can be exported and imported the snapshots. So what is the next step? So next step is how you call your HANA stored procedures in ABAP procedure proxies in ABAP net 7.4 and HANA as a primary database. So before we have seen how to expose HANA views in ABAP. Now we will be now I will show you how to expose stored process in ABAP. So how you expose your stored process in ABAP, and again this is also bottom-up approach, and we'll have HANA delivery unit and HANA transport container to transport. Will upload delivery unit will be uploaded to HANA transport container, so which we have seen recently. So AMDBs we have seen are only supported starting above 7.4. So, but release below 7.4. So, how to expose? So, if you're using 7.5, then directly no need to expose your stored process in ABAP. Directly you can write AMDBs. But if you are using less than 7.4, how you do it? You have to, and HANA is a primary database. Then we will be having a data dictionary called database browser proxies in ABAP dictionary. So to expose your stored process. So external views use it to expose your HANA views. So database procedures a new type of ABAP dictionary object actually introduced with ABAP 7.40. It represents inside the ABAP system a database procedure that exists outside and independent of ABAP system actually. So it has importing, exporting, which we have seen. What is a database procedure? So database procedure proxy allows it's a wrapper to your database procedure present in your HANA. So external view is a wrapper to your HANA view. So database procedure proxy is a wrapper to your database procedure. So a new ABAP system called call database procedure is introduced for this purpose. So you wanted to call database, how to call once you define, you need to use call syntax to access this database procedure. So it is easy to consume in ABAP code using OpenSQL. So separate lifecycle management and transport required for this as well. Proxies of SAP HANA wrapper I already told you. So new database browser proxy in ABAP dictionary will go into system and I will show you. So if you have, again, you have to keep in mind that your HANA system should, HANA is a primary database, then only you will be able to create your database browser proxies. New, under ABAP repository. So database browser proxies. So if you see database browser proxy, click on next. So as soon as when you see database browser can only be created on ABAP systems running on a new DB or HANA DB. Okay. If you see here, HANA browser, you can add HANA browser, you can give the name of it, description, original language, and you can give HANA browser and parameters type interface. If he has importing and exporting parameters, you can give the parameter type interface and HANA browser. Here, HANA browser. Suppose if I have any HANA browser here, suppose I created some browsers here in my, suppose this is my stored browser, suppose sp underscore sample proc. This browser, I can give this browser here, and the parameters also I can give, like suppose interface. I have to give some interface name. So some I can create interface name to call it as, since AMDB, you know, right, AMDB needs an interface to create. So here also you need an interface. So it can be created from ADT, so it's not supported from a backup bench. So create, we'll use database browser proxy as a dictionary object. So and then specify name of the interface to be created. So you have to create a new interface as soon as when you your database browser, and you have to give the interface name here. So that is where you will create your database browser proxies. So next step would be, again, what it does was it does I will show you, I have shown you how to create a database browser in ADT. Data mapping, same as an external view, how your data mapping happens in HANA and ABAP dictionary types. So HANA data types like small int will be converted to I, integer will be converted into I. So decimal is converted into P, small decimal is converted into P, and then float, F, NV char will be converted into char, globe will be converted into string, blob will be converted into raw string. So HANA data types will be converted into ABAP dictionary types. To support these things, will the framework will take care how to convert HANA data types to ABAP data types. So how you access DB procedures in ABAP. So you created your DB procedure. You have suppose you created your DB procedure. Suppose this is your DB procedure. Suppose so this DB procedure you have given. I'll just cancel it. So this DB browser, suppose you use this DB browser, you gave it in here, and you gave some interface, and you created the DB browser. How you access that? So to access the DB browser, you will use call database browser syntax, database browser proxy name, and if it has exporting and importing parameters, you will use that. So, so you, to consume it in OpenSQL, you will use call database browser syntax, and then you have to when you define this proxy, this is a you can define the results. Suppose if you have LV result and LV result 1, so you will do this from the interface types, data types. So these are things which you need to keep in mind. So some things which you need to keep in mind was um, syntax checks only for existence of the browser proxy. So separate lifecycle management for web proxy and another browser, all parameters are mandatory. So if your database browser has two importing parameters and one exporting parameter, these parameters are mandatory when you're defining your database browser. You have to make sure that store browser is available at runtime, so it won't otherwise all the ABAP and HANA system has separate transport policies. You have to make sure that it's available. It also has to make sure that stored browser interface matches the ABAP database browser proxy interface at runtime. So browser interface and ABAP database browser should match at the runtime. And you need to have a HANA database user to develop and store browser in HANA Studio. So database user should have to develop. So there is no extensibility mechanism to consider, like custom fields, no encapsulation in, no extensibility happens here. So this is how you access your DB process in a web. So to access your DB process, we'll create a dictionary type called new under ABAP dictionary, database process, database process again, click on next, and we'll give your HANA procedure and the parameters. So to access your external view, so like HANA view, we'll use other repository or dictionary view and click on option called external view. So it's possible only from ADT. So here we have seen how to access database process in a map. It's a wrapper to your stored process in HANA. So coming to the next slides. So we have seen core to data techniques. So what are the core to data techniques which we have seen here? So first thing which we have seen was use of OpenSQL or CDS based views is the core to data paradigm. That means that you are pushing your data intensive logic into database layer. That means that directly on the HANA you are doing calculations. You are using HANA capabilities of in-memory, parallel processing, and HANA capabilities of compression, HANA capabilities of calculation, and fast accesses, column store. You are using the code to data techniques. In the second unit, we have seen how to use core data services based views, like what are the enhanced capabilities of view definitions when you define in ADT CDS views. So these CDS views are code to data paradigm techniques. It enhances or it is beneficial to use code to data techniques so that you will push your data intensive logic your database layer directly on HANA. You are doing something so that you will get best performance. So 93% efficiency and fast you will get if you use these code to data techniques wherever possible. So second thing was use of AMDBs, which is possible above 7.5. So above 7.4 and 5, first and two methods like CDS views, OpenSQLs, and AMDBs, which I have shown you in last unit. So AMDBs, ML Manager Database Processes. So you will these you will directly write your native SQL and you will push down to your everything into database layer. That means that first and two methods, code to data paradigms, are mainly for pushing your means top down approach. So bottom up approach every time is not avoided. Bottom up approach is used only if you have HANA. If you don't, if you have HANA as a primary database and SAP 7.4 and below, ABAP 7.4 and below. So bottom up approach will be used as the latest approach to enhance to get the best performance. So so first technique is CDS based, second was AMDBs. So first the preferences of your techniques was first you should use CDS based or OpenSQL or CDS based views. Second one was use of AMDBs. If you don't have this AMDBs and CDS based views, then you will use ADBC or proxy objects. So ADBC you have seen ABAP database manager database procedures. So these ABAP manager database procedures. So sorry, ADBC. ADBC connectivity, we have seen three classes, object-based native SQL pushed down to database layer like CLSQL connection, CLSQL statement, CLSQL result set. So these things are the code to data technical preferences. So first preference should be CDS view, we should use. Second will be MDBs. If you don't have the flexibility of using CDS views and MDBs, then you will use ADBC and proxy objects. So, and this is how code to data technique preferences happen. So what are the key takeaways from this unit? So we have seen bottom up approach. So seen bottom up approach to code to data paradigm possible with ABAP 7.40. So what is bottom up approach? So if you have 7.4 and less, so you use bottom up approach. So create external views in ABAP dictionary. So you'll have means you will external views are the wrappers for your ABAP for your HANA views. So you will create them in ABAP dictionary and how you map your HANA data types to ABAP data types and how you adjust your data type mappings we have seen here. So and how to access external views in ABAP you have seen. So use of delivery units we have seen like HANA delivery, how you will you will create a delivery unit. You use your delivery, you create a package. So so we'll have artifacts in the package. We'll assign your package to delivery unit, and you will upload your delivery unit to HANA transport container by creating in the ABAP system. So in ABAP system, we'll take the snapshots to export and import as well. It is possible if you have HANA as a primary database, and then only you can create a HANA transport container for moving your transports from one ABAP system to HANA system to ABAP system. Since when you create external view or a database browser in ABAP, you should have your HANA view available in your ABAP system and database procedure available in the HANA system. This is possible only if you transport your artifacts from your ABAP system to HANA system and HANA system to ABAP system. So next we have seen how to create a database procedure proxy in ABAP. It's a wrapper to your stored procedure in HANA. So how to access and how to consume the stored procedure in ABAP we have seen. Like all database procedure is a syntax which we use how to consume the database procedure in ABAP. So these things we have seen in this last unit. So finally, so we completed all the units here. So now we'll next in the next session we will see how to debugging future is present in ADT. So it is a normal in ABAP as well. We have a debugging. So how you do debug ADT ABAP development tools, we'll see in the next session, and we'll, if possible, we'll see some other features of ADT and HANA. So thank you.